Hi there, and welcome back to Mary's Nest. And today I'm sharing with you some news from my nest. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And if you like learning about natural living, cooking from scratch, and touring around with me in the Texas Hill Country, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel. And if you do, be sure to click on the little notification bell that'll let you know each time I upload a new video. Well, the news from the nest today is I spent the better part of the afternoon making homemade applesauce and a fruit compote. And after all of that, I have a lot of scraps. I've got apple scraps and pear scraps and the cores, the skins, everything. And I'm going to go ahead and make some fruit scrap vinegar. You know, in the past I shared with you over the summer I was making fruit scrap vinegars from the summer fruits and had some wonderful strawberry fruit scrap vinegar. It's hard to say, which I'll link to so you can see me make that. But I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to make a fall scrap vinegar now with some of these fall fruits of the pears and the apple pieces. And it's a very simple thing to do. All you do is fill the jars halfway up, or to 2/3 way up. Really, I don't really have an exact recipe. I'm actually very flexible about what I do. And then I fill the rest with water, add a 1/4 cup of sugar, and every day I stir it with a wooden chopstick, and then that's that. And after about 30 days, it turns into vinegar. And it's just wonderful. And I love the stirring method. That works beautifully, rather than just letting it sit. I find that you don't have to worry about it developing any mold or anything like that. It just will fizz up, and before you know it, you're going to have wonderful vinegar. And this is going to be nice because this is going to be a combination of apple and pear, which I think will be a lovely combination for the fall. But in any event, while I'm doing this, I wanted to give a shout out to a friend of mine, a YouTube friend. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but in person, but I hope I do someday. And she lives in Australia, and her name is Alicia. And she has a wonderful YouTube channel called Moat Cottage, M-O-A-T Cottage, and I'll link to it so you can go and visit her. What I love about her channel is it's just so peaceful. She really soothes my soul when I watch her channel. She has a lovely, lovely country kitchen, and with a beautiful hutch behind her. And on the hutch are all the goods that she's home canned. She water bath cans and she pressure cans. And she has that. It's just so lovely the way she has it all displayed behind her. And she sits at her kitchen table, which is it looks like a beautiful big farm table, and she shows different recipes, how to make all sorts of things. And one thing that I find so delightful about her site, and you have to go and see it, is she plays lovely classical music in the background. So it's such a nice, calming site, especially in today's world when everything's so fast and frenetic, you know, with the internet and whatnot. You go to her site and it's like stepping back in time. It's just so soothing. And she also takes you into her garden. She has a lovely garden, and she teaches a lot of good things. She brought back some wonderful memories to me in a particular episode that she had where she took cuttings from plants and then put them in a little root stimulator and then put them into dirt to grow new plants. And I remember doing that with my father as a child and collecting seeds and all these sorts of things. And it's very lovely. And she also has chickens that she raises that are always walking around, and they're just so cute. But, and of course she has dogs, and it's just a lovely site, and she's a lovely person. So definitely go and check out her channel, Moat Cottage, and I'll put it in an iCard, and I'll also put a link to her site in the description below. If you, underneath the video where it says description, I'll link to her site as well. Well, I filled these jars up. I evenly divided the scraps between them, a little more than halfway up. They're about 2/3 full. And the next thing I'm going to do is put a 1/4 cup of sugar in each of them. And then after a few days of them being like this in the water and me stirring every day, I'll come back and probably add another cup of sugar. It's going to foam up and you'll see it beginning to ferment. And then once that calms down after a few days, then you'll say, oh, okay, let me go feed the good bacteria a little more. So I'll add a little more sugar, and then that'll be it. Just a 1/2 cup, and then the next 30 days just keep stirring every day, and before you know it, it'll be vinegar. Well, I went and got some filtered water that I'm going to add to these jars, and all I'm going to do is just come right up to the neck of the jar. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the same over here. And this is just filtered water from my fridge that I let sit out for a while to let some of the chlorine dissipate. I just let it sit in this pitcher. Alrighty, then I take this wooden toothpick and then I just start stirring everything around, trying to mix the sugar and the water together, get everything submerged and mixed up, and then I'll just do the same thing to this jar. Perfect. I don't know if you can hear, my dog just walked into the kitchen over there. If you can hear her little fingernails on the tile floor. She's such a sweetheart. I have to introduce you to her. She's we call her lab-ish. She's not completely a lab. She's some kind of mix. And we adopted her when she was 11 weeks old. And we went into PetSmart. Our other dogs had passed away, and the PetSmart had the rescue days on the weekends, and we saw her lying on the floor. Poor little thing, her nose was running. She looked so sick, but we pushed all the other healthy dogs out of the way and we adopted her. And God bless her, she had parvo, which is a very serious disease, but it was amazing. We had a wonderful vet, and she had wonderful medication, and she recovered, and now she's 11 years old, and she's a happy and healthy 85-pound dog, and we just love her. She's such a sweetheart. And my son was a big Star Wars fan, and so he named her Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I think is adorable. I just call her Obi for short. I think she's coming. She's right over here. In any event, so whenever I start cooking or even doing something in the kitchen, she's like, oh, maybe Mama's got a little something for me. Alrighty, so then what I do is I take, these are just coffee filters, and I just put them over like this, and I put a little rubber band on to hold. This way the air can get in, and the natural yeasts in the air can get in and help everything to ferment beautifully and get going. And then each day I just pull it off, stir it, put the little lid back on. That's it, nothing fancy. And I just put these out of the way somewhere on the counter in the kitchen so that I see them and it reminds me to stir them. But in any event, so that's that. And I don't put the lids on. What I do is once after the 30 days, and I feel that it has turned into vinegar, and you'll be able to tell. It has a fragrance of vinegar, and you can give it a little taste. It'll definitely taste like vinegar. And you can also use the little pH strips, and I go over all of this in a lot more detail in the video where I show how to make the fruit scrap vinegar, the actual video where I just focus on that. And they have these little pH strips that you can buy. You can get them anywhere, like at the pharmacy, you know, at like a CVS or a Walgreens, or in the pharmacy section at any of the big stores like Walmart and whatnot. And you can dip it in and it'll tell you what the pH is, and you're looking for something that's, I believe, like below 4.5. Mine usually after 30 days is around 3.0, so it's very, very vinegary. So that's that with that. But before I go, I just wanted to, let me see if I can get this up. I brought my phone out because I want to show you, excuse me, I got to put my bifocals on so I can read, about Alicia's site, Moat Cottage. I wanted to just share with you a few of the things that she talks about, and they're just wonderful. Specifically, this is the video that I had mentioned earlier to you, how to take herb cuttings to get free plants. And it's just a wonderful video. You have to check that out. And then she has things about her ducks. Oh, I forgot to mention she also has ducks in addition to her chickens. And she has another wonderful video, and this is one, it's called How to Make Slow-Cooked Pear Cider, which is perfect to be watching this time of year. Although being in Australia, now she's coming into spring, but she did make this 3 weeks ago, and she made slow-cooked pear cider. And she's sitting at her lovely kitchen table with the beautiful hutch behind her, and the music is playing. It's very, very lovely to watch. And then she's got another one, pumpkin soup and seeds for sowing. And she has something about making jam and marmalade. That I love marmalade. And she also has something, if you're interested in pressure canning, she has a whole video on how to set up a new Presto pressure canner. That's very nice if you're new to pressure canning. And she's got something on organizing her freezer, you know, just all kinds of wonderful things. A wonderful recipe for vegetable and feta quiche. So it's just a lovely, it's a lovely site, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. And I find her site very unique. She's a homesteader, beautiful homestead, beautiful garden, lovely kitchen, and it's just she's very soothing, she's very relaxing, and as I said, she has that beautiful classical music playing in the background. So definitely go and check it out. It's really, I think YouTube can sometimes be a very crowded, overwhelming space, and when you get to her channel, you just want to take a deep breath and relax and sit back and enjoy her videos, because they're actually very delightful, and she just seems is so charming and so nice. I really hope that one day I get to meet her in person. I consider her, even though we only know each other through YouTube, I consider her a good friend. Well, that's all for today. That's all the news there is from my nest. Oh, but next week, my husband and I are going to take a nice drive to a little town not far from here. And I'll film it and I'll show it to you. As I've shared with you in the past, we live in the hill country between Austin and San Antonio in the Highland Lakes region. And it's very pretty here. Rolling hills, lots of greenery, beautiful lakes. Very different than what people think when they think Texas. But Texas is an amazingly diverse state. It's so lovely. I just love it. I'm originally from New York, but I married a Texan. I was smart. And it's just, it's really beautiful here. And so I want to take you on some trips when we go around the hill country and film, so that I can share it with you. And we also, I don't know, maybe we'll stop at a few thrift shops, or as I used to call them, junk shops. Maybe we'll find some nice things along the way, but we'll definitely show you lots of lovely scenery. Well, that's all. You know me, I always go on and on. That's all for today. But be sure to go visit Alicia's site, Moat Cottage, and try your hand. If you've got any fruit scraps, don't throw them out. Make vinegar out of them. You'll be very happy that you did. Well, as I said, that's all for today. But I want to thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to having you join me again right here in my Texas Hill Country kitchen. And if you like this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you'd like to learn more about making homemade vinegars, cooking from scratch, natural living, home remedies, and touring around the Texas Hill Country, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, and be sure to click on the little notification bell below that'll let you know each time I upload a video. Well, as I said before, that's all for today. It really is now. I'll see you next time. Love and God bless.